Today I want to talk about why you should stay quiet, especially in disagreement. I find that a lot of people don't know how to actually behave or to actually rather have a proper conversation. I read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie a few months ago. There's a few key points that stuck with me that I want to implement in this video. So, most people don't really listen when the other person is talking, especially when they're in disagreement. They wait for the other person to finish just so they can tell them their reply. Or even worse, they're already thinking of their reply before the other person even finishes. That's not listening. That's just waiting. That's no way to properly come to agreement with someone else or to properly have a conversation when you're both trying to understand each other's perspectives better. You're not trying to win a disagreement. You're just trying to understand each other better. I think it starts at that. But here's what I've been noticing lately. During a conversation, when you actually slow down, especially when you're having a disagreement with someone, something subtle happens. You don't just avoid conflict, you build space. And from that space, real conversation can actually begin. Because think about it. The goal of a disagreement isn't to necessarily win, but rather to understand each other better. So maybe, just maybe, you can both walk away having gone somewhere. Alright, let's give this a scenario, right? Let's say you're working with a coworker on a project. You've both put in countless hours, put in lots of work, and it's getting close to the deadline. And at the last minute, your coworker tells you, hey, what if we tried this? In your mind, you know it's not gonna work. It's wrong. Your instinct tells you to jump in, to correct them, tell them where it's wrong, but instead you wait. You let them speak, you let them make their point. Maybe they had a reason. Maybe they're just missing one piece. Just maybe they're even off base, but that's not the point. Instead of coming back with, here's where you did wrong, and correcting them, you say something like, okay, I see where you're coming from, but what if we tried this instead? Would that make sense to you? How does this sound to you? You give them a suggestion. Now, you're not correcting, you're collaborating. You're offering, not pushing. You're helping them and yourself get closer to a shared solution. Because at the end of the day, it's still teamwork, right? You both have the same goal. You both want to succeed. And when you make the other person feel like they're part of that process of success, it benefits the both of you because you have the shared goal, you have the shared solution. You just have to work together in order to benefit the two of you, right? Here's a quote from How to Win Friends and Influence People that stuck with me. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. The quote's not breathtaking, but it gave me something to think about. Yeah, rather that. It gave me a reason to slow down, to listen fully, and to delay my reaction just a little longer, so I can actually respond in a way that helped the conversation go somewhere. When people feel like they've been heard, truly heard, not just closing your eyes and absorbing all that information, just let them speak, but actually paying attention to their words and listening to them first, they tend to be more open to hearing the other side too, to be more understanding of your words and of your perspective. And that's what real dialogue feels like. That's the kind of conversation that moves. That kind of patience and understanding is what gets the conversation moving. It's a mirror effect. It's simple. It's human nature. When you act nicely to another person, or when you smile to another person on the street, odds are they're probably going to smile to you back, unless they're super sad and depressed. But who knows, right? I found that the less I argue and the more I try to understand the other side, the more I'm actually able to express what I really feel and give my point across and actually get to a solution with the other party. And it helps us both move forward and get one step closer to a solution. Not because I earned it, not because I forced them to do so, but because I slowed down, because I made the effort to hear them first. It sounds simple, but it works. It truly does work. And yeah, unfortunately, it's not gonna work every time. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. You're patient, you listen, you stay calm, you stay attentive, but it still doesn't lead anywhere. But even then, you gain something. You got experience. You practice being better. And the next time you're in a similar moment, similar situation, similar conversation, disagreement, whatever the thing is, maybe with someone totally different, in a completely different scenario, but you're just a little bit more prepared than you were before because you had that sort of experience and you practice that method of conversation because you've been in that moment before. Do you know what patience feels like? Yeah. And you know what it can do, even though you maybe failed the first time, but keep trying until it works, essentially, right? So next time you feel the urge to interrupt, to push back, to jump in and instinctively prove your point, try staying quiet. Just for a few seconds longer. Let the other person finish. Let the moment breathe. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to be right. It's to have a better conversation, no? And that's always, always, always starts with listening first. Thank you. Jesus Christ, 2 videos today. Quite tired. It's 2 a.m. now. I do want to go sleep, but I don't feel tired, which is weird. Either way, catch you in the next one. Yeah, carpe diem, and ciao ciao. See you next time.